Good, happy Thursday evening, June 15, 2023. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on RK Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, Nathan Carmen, who faced murder on the High Seas trial in mother's death, found dead in New Hampshire jail cell. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Rebate season is here. Now is the time to visit Rochester Motorsports on Route 11 in Rochester or Seacoast Power Sports on Route 1 in Hampton.
The superintendent of the Cheshire County House of Corrections tells News 9 that Nathan Carmen was found dead in his cell early Thursday morning, a cell where Carmen was the only occupant. As for how the 29-year-old died, the medical examiner has completed his autopsy and says it is not considered suspicious. The Keene Police Department is investigating.
I feel like I lost a member of my family.
Carmen's attorneys say they just spoke with their client Wednesday night as they prepare for his trial in October.
Truly believed, after the review of all the evidence, that Nathan would have been acquitted. And he was never in bad spirits. He was very upbeat.
Carmen had been accused of killing his mother, Linda Carmen, while on a fishing trip off the coast of Rhode Island in 2016. His mother was never found and was presumed dead. An indictment for that case also alleged that Nathan Carmen shot and killed his grandfather, John Chikalos, in Connecticut back in 2013. Investigators claim the deaths were part of a scheme to obtain inheritance.
But for us, it would have been a tremendous opportunity to try a case for an individual accused who we believe truly was innocent of these charges. Unfortunately now, we'll never know.
And now the sisters of Linda Carmen said in a statement that they are saddened to hear of Nathan's passing and are asking for privacy. In the meantime, Nathan Carmen's attorneys say they understand that he left them a letter and they look forward to receiving it as they try to make sense of the situation. Reporting live in Keene tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man charged with stabbing Manchester woman to death. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Rebate season is here. Now is the time to visit Rochester Motorsports on Route 11 in Rochester or
Steve and Monica, 54-year-old Robert Eastman is now charged with second-degree murder. According to prosecutors, Eastman allegedly stabbed Lori McClellan to death inside a home on Hanover Street. Manchester police were called to that scene just before 2 a.m. this morning, and that's when they found McClellan dead from apparent stab wounds in the face and abdomen. Prosecutors would not say how Eastman and McClellan knew each other or what led to his arrest. Eastman is now expected to be arraigned tomorrow. Live in the newsroom, Jennifer Vaughn, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Neighbors of Goffstown couple allegedly at the center of a scheme to sell body parts surprised. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's time to make your backyard your favorite place to be. Experience hours of family fun and relaxation in a new custom design.
Steve, people who live here tell us this is a quiet neighborhood, but the house behind me is where that couple lived and where investigators say they were shipping and selling body parts. A federal indictment says that Cedric Lodge stole dissected parts of donated cadavers from Harvard Medical School, where he was the morgue manager. That includes heads, brains, skin, and bones. Investigators say he allowed people to come inside the morgue to personally pick out which remains they wanted to buy. And this was done without the permission or the knowledge of families and of the school. Investigators also say he brought the remains to his home here on Orchard Street, where he and his wife Denise shipped them through the mail to buyers. Neighbors told us this afternoon the couple was always friendly and they never saw anything unusual happen at the house.
I had my surgery a week ago, but when I was building my shed, they'd walk their dogs up and I'd say hi to them, and they seem like nice people. That's why it makes it even scarier, you know, with 2 houses down, you don't know what's going on.
Now, the lodges do have to remain here in Goffstown until they're called to federal court in Pennsylvania. We're live in Goffstown tonight. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Carbomatologist says there's a market for human remains. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
If you have ever dreamed of having granite or quartz countertops in your kitchen, but thought it was too expensive,
Court paperwork outlines a horrific body part trafficking scheme involving several people from at least 5 states and stolen, donated bodies from Harvard Medical School. All of this began in 2018 when the wife of Harvard's morgue manager allegedly communicated with people about selling human remains stolen by her husband. Documents allege some buyers would show up to the morgue to choose what they wanted, and purchases ranged from human heads to dissected faces. People accused in this scheme also allegedly bought genitals, tanned skin to use as leather, and the body of a stillborn child. And court records say some of those charged used Facebook Messenger and PayPal to make transactions, something cyber experts say isn't a surprise as more people turn away from the dark web.
You would think with the security of the dark web, you'd go there first. But realistically, it's not that easy to use. It's not intuitive. It's not user-friendly.
Criminologist Tom Holt says there's a market out there for people interested in the macabre. One woman prosecutors say was involved owns a doll store in Peabody, Mass. called Cat's Creepy Creations. And Holt says Facebook is a way people can sell things quickly.
Certainly, medical curiosities are something that people do buy. No platform is necessarily safe from abuse. It's just this is one of the very shocking instances where you don't expect people to be selling products like this on Facebook.
And while a lot of these charges are related to Harvard Medical School, officials said some of the remains came from Arkansas. In the studio, Hannah Cotter, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. One taken to hospital after a shooting on Union Street in Manchester. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Rebate season is here. Now is the time to visit Rochester Motorsports on Route 11 in Rochester or Seacoast.
Well, guys, police tell us that they are in the early stages of a shooting investigation here on Union Street. We've also learned that one person has been taken to the hospital. Just about an hour ago, we could see heavily armed police officers getting ready to enter one of the homes here on Union Street. We did see them go inside through the back door and then exit just a few minutes later. Shortly after they came out, officers began to clear out some of the scene. There is still a smaller police presence here now, but officers appeared to tighten up the perimeter around that one home. Now, police would not tell us that there were any suspects in custody. We did talk to some people who live nearby. They tell us that there are a lot of children who live in this neighborhood, and unfortunately, they're starting to feel like shootings like this one on their street are becoming all too common.
I just seen a bunch of cops with guns running around, and the little kids were out here. This stuff's getting too close to home, and I think we're going to have to move.
And there are still some members of Manchester Police Department here on the scene. There is some crime scene tape still up around that home as well. We've also reached out to the New Hampshire Attorney General's office to see if they were working on this investigation. So far, though, we have not yet heard back. Live in Manchester, Ross Ketchke, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New England College bringing back football program after 50 years. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's time to make your backyard your favorite place to be. Experience hours of family fun and relaxation in a new custom-designed pool.
This is Christmas morning for me.
Christmas came early for New England College. NEC called a play to bring their football program back after it had been on the bench for nearly 50 years.
This is big time. Something's always going on at New England College.
The idea started as a joke 10 years ago, but turned into a proposal that was brought to the Board of Trustees this past February.
And they voted unanimously in May to approve it, and here we are.
Blue 42! The last time the Pilgrims played football was back in 1974. Right. Fast forward 50 years, and NEC will return to the gridiron in the fall of 2024. Wait! Tom Farman was the Pilgrims' latest quarterback who remembers his 2 seasons like it was yesterday.
We didn't win a game, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade a minute of it for anything.
Unfortunately, Tom's college football career was cut short due to a financial crisis.
Budget cuts had to be made, and football was one of the victims.
But now the Pilgrims are bringing the pigskin back, and Tom couldn't be more excited for the future team.
Football has a way of teaching things that can't happen in the classroom, and I love that part of it, but on the field in the afternoons was also really important.
The Pilgrims will immediately start their head coach search to kick off their first season in the fall of 2024. Alumni, students, faculty, and fans who didn't even go to NEC, like J.P. Marzullo, who played for the New York Jets back in the day, are not only excited for football, but are ready to help.
I asked him when I could start recruiting for him. He said right after I announced. So I'm going home now and make some phone calls.
In Henniker, Troy Lynch, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Trump rejected idea of settling with DOJ in classified document case, sources say. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Finally found it.
That was amazing.
Rated PG.
The federal judge overseeing the case of former President Donald Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents, issuing her first order requiring all attorneys to reach out to the Department of Justice to try to get security clearances. It comes as multiple sources say that Trump previously rejected the idea of settling with the DOJ to avoid being charged. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, the judge assigned to oversee Donald Trump's classified documents case, issuing her first order, a signal that she is staying put. Judge Aileen Cannon was appointed by Trump in 2020. Early in the investigation, she issued several controversial rulings that threatened to slow down the probe. Those orders later thrown out by a conservative appeals panel. Last week, Judge Cannon was randomly assigned to the Trump case, raising questions about whether she would recuse herself. Today, the clearest signal she will not. That order instructing lawyers to contact the Justice Department to expedite the necessary clearance process so they can discuss the sensitive documents at issue. Trump has called the whole thing a witch hunt.
It's a political persecution.
Sources now telling ABC News that months ago, one of Trump's lawyers wanted to approach to avoid an indictment altogether, but the former president rejected that idea.
Sources say that is one of many times the former president has clashed with his own advisors and attorneys over legal strategy, and tonight Trump is still looking to lock down his defense team.
Rachel Scott, our thanks to you tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stuff.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now, and let's take a look at your weather. Here is your weather forecast from meteorologist Mike Haddad.
ADA Traffic Control trains and certifies traffic control flaggers for construction and utility sites all across New England. From the start of developing traffic plans to pre-construction setup, equipping sites with everything needed, ADA Sales and Rental offers a variety of traffic safety equipment to the construction industry. ADA has a very in-depth inventory. Want to join the team at the largest traffic control company in New England? Go to adavt.com or call us today.
Thank you very much for joining us. Stormwatch 9 weather on the web. Another weekend just about here. This one, unfortunately, after a warm Friday with a chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm, mostly north at any point in the afternoon towards evening elsewhere. Yeah, the weekend looks to be on the wetter side and also much cooler. And the reason for that, well, this storm is spinning back through the Great Lakes, going to approach later tomorrow, sunshine out ahead of it. So again, most of Friday looks rain-free. As for tonight, any spot shower or thunderstorm will wrap up by about 10 o'clock or maybe 11, midnight, the latest. Skies clear overnight, a nice start to your Friday. Notice the storm back to our west. It's a slow mover, so that's good for Friday, bad for Saturday. And here's the reason why. Low pressure west of Toronto will move to the east-southeast and then stall just to our south during Saturday night, and early on Sunday morning. So here's how it all plays out between now and the weekend. Overnight lows 50 far north, mid-upper 50 south, with some clearing overnight tonight after an early evening shower or thunder shower. Tomorrow, again, really not a bad Friday. Cooler at the coast due to a sea breeze, 70s and lower 80s elsewhere. Not all that humid. Temperatures, again, very close to the norm, with a chance of a shower up north during the afternoon and anywhere during the course of the evening. So here's how it plays out on Futurecast between now and Saturday. Some sun tomorrow morning, could be a pop-up shower, maybe a thunderstorm, afternoon hours, Plymouth, rest of the White Mountains, points north. Notice mainly rain and storm free the farther south you go, but late day, after about 4 or 5 o'clock into the evening, there's a chance of a shower, thunder shower. A better shot of rain developing and becoming more widespread as the night wears on Friday night into the day on Saturday. And the key on Saturday, in addition, of course, to the rain, dampening out plans for outdoor activities, will be the wind flow coming in out of the east-northeast. And that means much cooler air as we go through not only Saturday, but into Sunday. A lot of the rain should rotate away by early Sunday morning. So leftover showers and a lot of clouds early Sunday, and then it should brighten up a little bit during the course of the afternoon. Your high temperatures on Saturday, nowhere close to where we should be, only in the lower half of the 60s for many, maybe a notch or two above that in some spots, and barely above that as long as we brighten up a little bit during Sunday afternoon. Pressing into next week. Monday, partly sunny, couple of pop-up showers, couple of degrees milder, chance of a shower, partly sunny on your Tuesday. And right now, the official start of the summer season looks bright and warmer.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Mike Haddad. That is for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on RK Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.